Okay, so my first question for you is,
Yes.
how did you get involved in doing drag?
And it's totally an accident. You want to know how?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Literally? Okay, well, there was a benefit show for AIDS at the time called War on AIDS, and a friend of mine, he and his lover, Bill Nelson and Terry Thibodeau, both of them wanted me to help with choreography for this performance. And I said, okay, I'll help. Well, they had it in mind, actually, to put me in the show. So, because the third person that was supposed to be the performer never showed up. And so the night of the performance, since I knew the choreography and I taught it to them, they threw me in the show anyway. So I wasn't really supposed to be a performer. Had no intention of being an entertainer.
And this was in?
Ooh, so 1986, 87. Because I moved here in 1985. So I think it was 1986 or 87.
In Dallas.
Mm-hmm. First time I'd ever worn a dress, first time I'd ever had makeup on, and it was all borrowed. None of it was mine, so I didn't know what I was doing. And I was ugly. Ugly.
So you competed in a lot of pageants, right?
Only one.
Only one. Wow. And what would you say it's like to compete in a drag pageant?
I was... Back in the 90s when I was competing, it was a dog-eat-dog pageant stuff. You know, girls didn't want to make friends with you. They didn't want to help you. They didn't want to give you any advice or make a suggestion or whatever. But one person told me, Miss Patti, honey, we love you, girl, but you stay with your charity stuff and let us do our pageant stuff. And, it hurt my feelings. I thought, I'm just as good as they are. Why can't I do a pageant like anybody else, right? So I talked to my best friend at the time, and he was going to support me. He said he would help me out. So we started working on choreography. We started working on picking out a dress. We started working on playing with makeup a little bit more. There's many things that we did to prepare me. And I sat back and watched the pageant for the first year, and then I competed in like the Texas pageant system, and that would take you to Miss Gay America, but I would never place. So I finally decided I'm going to go to a regional pageant, and it was down in Mississippi, Biloxi, Mississippi. And then I placed first runner-up, which takes you to Miss Gay America. When I got there, I had no clue that I was doing well. But I wound up becoming Miss Gay America on my very first try with no experience at all.
So if somebody was starting out in drag, or they wanted to start out doing drag today, what's some advice you would give them?
Well, like everybody says, be true to yourself and do whatever you have to do to make yourself shine. But honestly, don't change yourself. Because I was always a charity girl, not a pageant girl, and I really, really, really wanted to do it. So I had a platform, I had a focus, I had an idea, a plan that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it a better world if I can, and use my background of charity to push the charity stuff in through the pageant. And it worked. It actually worked.
What's one thing that people would not guess Patti Le Plae Safe is?
Oh, I'm so butch. Truly. You saw me this last weekend. It's true, right?
It's very true, yeah.
I got a concrete saw and I cut up all the concrete and moved all the concrete, big chunks this big. I used my muscles. These little nublets of muscles. But I moved all the concrete, I'm building a patio, and it's hard work. But I did it. Nothing stopped me from doing anything.
I'm thinking of one more question to ask you.
What do you want to ask me?
I don't know.
Okay. Boys and girls, Miss Patti's back again.
What's the most important part of a drag queen's look?
Definitely eyes and lips.
Eyes and lips.
The rest of it all comes together. But I really think if you spend time on your eyes and your lips and make them just perfect, then your look tells a story. You know, a lot of queens put like racing stripes on their cheeks, and they put real hard bands up here of dark color and stuff, and I don't do that. I put things together, but I fade it all away after putting base on and powder on and everything. And then I put my shadow on, and then when I'm finished with everything, I go back over it with powder again to make the lines go away. So everything's like blended and put together. It's an art form. Oh God, what an art form.
Okay, well thank you very much.
You're welcome. And boys and girls, remember, you can never wear too much makeup. Bitch is pretty.